So I think it's a two-part question. In terms of ransomware events, whether the victim has their data in the cloud or local, it's going to be about equal. The differential is that often, if the data is in the cloud, they are more likely to get back up and running a little quicker. But the ransomware event against the practice is substantial. And here's what I want everyone to think about. For most healthcare entities, you're still going to have local data. Everyone wants to believe we don't have patient data on our network, right? It's all up in the cloud. And then you're like, oh, who does email? Oh, all these referral slips, these x-rays, these lab reports, they're stored on Mary's computer at the front desk too. Now you have a problem, right? So that's a challenge. But look, EMR vendors get hit too, right? I think I'm not going to start naming names, but there's been some very highly publicized EMR vendors that have been hit with ransomware. So to completely say I'm going to mitigate my risk and hand it off to another vendor, I don't think that's effective. Right? You have to look at this from both ways. You got to protect your network. You know, the other thing that I want everyone to realize is that the threat actors will often, very high percentage, I'll say over 90% of the time, will deploy screen sharing software on all of the computers in your environment. So as your employees and doctors and nurses access the EMR system, the hackers are watching, right, on every machine. So now could you have a breach? Yeah, for sure. If it can be proven that they were grabbing that data through screen shares, you have another issue. So I think that the takeaway here is you got to harden everything. You got to protect the network, whether it's cloud, whether it's a local server, and assume the worst is going to happen and protect accordingly.
I've had clients ask me, do I have less liability because I'm hosting information on the cloud? And the answer is most state and federal laws all say that you're responsible for your data, no matter where you're putting it.
Absolutely.
And one thing that you really need to focus on is your subrogation clause in your cyber policy. I've seen some policies where, you know, it says you'll do nothing to prejudice our rights of subrogation, our ability to claw back funds in the event of negligence. And what you don't want is you don't want an issue where you sign that Azure agreement or that Amazon agreement for cloud services. On the back of the agreement, it says you'll hold us harmless for any all claims. And then what happens is you go to submit that claim and the carrier says, sorry, you've already breached this clause. You've prejudiced our rights of subrogation, and now you have zero insurance coverage. You've just voided out coverage for your policy with respect to cloud coverage. So we've seen it.